If I hear any of you say the words "step on me mommy" to Lilith or about Lilith, I will personally report you to the Vatican. Keep it in your pants. You can't fix her. Anyway, Diablo 4 is a video game about killing people that call Lilith mommy, and sometimes killing people that call the angel Inarius daddy. So the game is really progressive, because it's not just about mommy or daddy issues, it's about parental issues. So it's a game most people can relate to. Except me. I had parents who loved me. But it's also a video game made by Blizzard Entertainment. What Disney is to movies, Blizzard is to video games. There is always something horribly wrong with it. Something that makes you feel bad for playing it, and makes it a less enjoyable experience. So when I play a Blizzard game, I am constantly looking for that thing, the fucked up thing that ruins the game, and I can't seem to find it here. It feels wrong on every level to say this. I think Blizzard might have just made a good game. It's just fun. Grindy, sure, but that's what a Diablo game is. There are definitely flaws, but the core experience here is solid, and I think most of the issues with the game come from the fact that it's an always online game. So disconnects and game not being available because servers are down. Single player game that's forced to be online because Bobby Kotick wants more money. Premise. You are a human adventurer in Sanctuary, a terrible land filled with misery, demons, monsters, and bad people. Humans and Sanctuary were created when Inarius, an angel, thought, "Hey, that Lilith a baddie AF and GL, Jesus Christ," and proceeded to penis her, and then humans and Sanctuary were created. Oh, and also they both agreed that the eternal war between angels and demons was kinda not lit. But the main reason was divine horniness. Now Lilith returns to Sanctuary to, in her words, end the eternal conflict and elevate humanity. But she's a demon and you don't believe her, so you're gonna stop her and kill her. Gameplay, the classes. I wanted to do this review after I had grinded all classes to at least 50, but then I realized that's a waste of time, because at like level 20, you will have gotten the gist of the class. You might be missing out on some specialized builds or something, but it will always be in that class's overall playstyle. The Rogue. If you like sneaking around, shooting and running, or doing quick stabby stabs while avoiding damage and doing big bursts of damage, playing with combos, not the mechanic but more like using twisting blades and then dashing through the group of enemies so that when twisting blades comes back to you, it will annihilate the enemy group. It's cool but not what I'm looking for. Barbarian. You hit things with weapons. You hit things hard with weapons. You swap weapons around to hit things. It's a fun mechanic, and of all the class mechanics, it's probably the most grindy mechanic. Because you have to level up all the specific weapons, and for that reason I don't think I would choose this class for seasons. But it's a class built around just staying in combat in the melee range and just flailing away angrily. But really, when it comes down to it with a barbarian, it's this.
Say the line, Bart!
Whirlwind. The Necromancer. Do you believe the concept of morality is something for losers? Do you think ethics are more of a suggestion? Then the Necromancer is right for you. desecrate corpses to raise mindless slaves that will throw themselves at enemies while you sit back and suck blood out of demons and throw blood spears at enemies or bone spears or bone shards or do some darkness related shenanigans. The class mechanic here is specializing your skeletons or sacrificing them to make yourself stronger, and of course using enemy bodies as weapons or to heal and raise skeletons. I have a hard time putting the necromancer in a box, like is he a burst or sustained damage? I'd say a little bit of both, but I could just as well say that about all the other classes. Druid. A dad bod and 2 dogs to keep me company. It's like looking into my future. The wrath of nature. You are a storm, an earthquake, a feral wolf, a bear ripping things to shred. My favorite parts about this class is the werebear and the storm build. As a bear, you are just a walking wrecking ball plowing through and crushing everything, and with a storm build, I feel like a walking hurricane. And the class mechanic of tuning yourself to spirits is great class fantasy. I played through it on Diablo 2 and I loved it, and was really looking forward to it in Diablo 4. And that's why I'm maining the sorcerer, with some build I found on Icy Veins, because making your own build is for nerds, and I of course am a cool guy. That's why my avatar has those cool guy shades. The sorcerer is really fragile, but has big damage. He does have a lot of defensive tools to keep him alive, like a fire or frost barrier, or the Frost Nova that freezes all the enemies around you, and usually that will be part of a combo to just smash all the enemies with some hard-hitting spells. With the class mechanic you can use 2 of your spells as passives, which can lead to a lot of great combos, so you can probably create a lot of unique awesome shit, or just find the best one on Icy Veins. All the classes here feel good, and the animations are really good, and have a lot of power and weight to them, and will give you that dopamine rush you're addicted to, but none of them hit completely right for me. There's always something I feel like I'm missing, and that's why I end up jumping between them a lot, and playing the game like that feels kinda wrong. Because you will fall behind and miss out on that glorious endgame content everyone rushes towards. And that brings us to general gameplay. The game is all about killing things. That's the gameplay loop. You might have some different style of quests, but it all involves killing things. You go into dungeons, cellars and anywhere really to kill things. But also get that fat loot, which will give you more power, so you can kill things better. Kill for power so you can kill more. It's an infinite cycle that only really ends when you think, I'll try that Street Fighter 6 now. I guess the biggest difference between activities is whether it has story elements or if it has a big boss at the end or is just a big swarm of enemies. I'll talk story later, let's talk quests in terms of gameplay. It's mostly traveling from A to B, collecting things or killing things, and talking to a person maybe. They do have some variance, so it won't bore the hell out of you too much. They are fine. They have 2 issues I guess, and that's the running around between places. This is mostly a problem in the early game, because you don't have the horse. And heavens above, does the horse make the game feel less sluggish. It's a big world, so there is a lot of wasted time running between places, and I think they give you the horse way too late. They give it to you in Act 4, and I think they should have given you the horse in Act 1. Yeah, sure, walking around can make you appreciate the world and all that noise, but that gets boring as heck. But the horse isn't perfect. He gets stuck on every corner on the entire map, and he can sometimes jump over obstacles, but sometimes he can't. And that inconsistency is really annoying, and for some godforsaken reason, the horse has a cooldown after you dismount. Why? Are you trying to annoy me? It's Blizzard, of course they are. Also, weird thing, the horse's speed is based off mouse distance, so the further away the mouse is, the faster the horse goes. I don't know in what situation I would want the horse to go slow. I wish I could turn this off. Dungeons! Go into a deep dark structure. Kill enemies, maybe interact with some objects, maybe kill specific enemies, maybe kill all the enemies. Maybe there's a big bad boss at the end. It's okay. It has improved since the beta. In the beta I had the issue of having to backtrack through dungeons a lot, but I haven't had to do that at all since release. That's great. I guess I could take issue with having to run to the dungeons, but I'm not going to, because it adds to the feeling of it being a world you live in. And sure, the running around before you get the horse does add to that too, but it's a balancing act between boring you and maintaining that fantasy of a world. And if it leans more towards maintenance, then I'm fine with it. Another example of that is how spread out everything is in the towns, like the blacksmith, storage chest, and various merchants. It's all over the place. Is it a little annoying running between them all the time? Yes, but it is realistic. Vendors would be spread out, but I think this could be solved with a market square, rather than them being just somewhere. But the occultist would probably be tucked away in some back alley so he doesn't get thrown into a fire. Nightmare dungeons. A harder version of dungeons with a limited number of revives. If you beat it, you can upgrade one of your glyphs. What's a glyph? Well, you have a skill board that you use to upgrade skills when you level up, and then when you're done with that, you move on to the Paragon board, where you upgrade your stats and unlock glyph slots. Glyphs can be a boost to your stats or a passive benefit to you. So weapons, armor, leveling up, and glyphs. Those are your main way to progress in the game. Lots of avenues to progress. Another indicator of progress is world tiers. Like Nightmare Dungeons and Hell Tides only become available after World Tier 3. And of course, new types of items. The higher the world tier, the harder the enemies, and the greater the reward. Hell Tides. A part of the map becomes red and a swarm of demons populate that zone, and you kill them to collect some currency to open chests that have really good armor. The enemies in Hell Tides might be harder than usual, but that might have been me just having a bad build. And Hell Tides are a limited time thing that just happens sometimes. I like this. I would really like more demon invasion shit. Like maybe demons attacking a town and you have to defend it and shit. That would be great. World bosses. Felt shitty in the beta, feel better on release. It is still a big bullet sponge thing, but they do have some mechanics to keep you engaged. It's okay. I get pretty shit loot from it though. Might not be worth it. The game is solid with a fair amount of content, but then we get into the online shit. You know what's really funny? When a person has put 50 hours into a hardcore character, but then the servers go down or even just lag a little bit, and the character permanently dies because of that. Why would you do this to yourself? Sometimes you can't play because server maintenance, And sometimes Bobby Kotick decides to take money out of the server budget to buy himself a penis pump. So the game will be really laggy and not very fun to play. I'm pretty sure that's what that input delay I keep feeling is. The game would be great on Steam Deck if it wasn't this always online bullshit. I could be on an airplane playing Diablo 4 if it wasn't for the online. The Tree of Whispers. You unlock it when you finish the campaign. If you get 10 Grim Favors, you get a chest full of shinies. You get favors by doing activities marked on the map, like those multiplayer events I end up soloing most of the time. Dungeons, again solo, killing a certain amount of a certain enemy, looting some souls or something from enemy bodies and depositing that, doing cellars and challenging an enemy by fiddling with a corpse. Oh, and also something about altars. It's just interact with stuff and kill things and you get favors. It's busy work, but the combat is fun and it's segmented. It's one of those things where you go, I'll get 2 Grim Favor chests, then I'll go do something productive. PvP. It is not balanced. If you fight a level 80 while you are level 50, the level 80 will destroy you. Yeah, I'm not playing this. It might probably be fun if it was balanced. And the last is the level scaling. Every game that has level scaling has the same issue. The game will feel the same at like level 20 and level 50. It takes pretty much the same time to kill enemies the whole game, so you barely feel any progress other than seeing your level and I don't know, item score or something go up. Here are some annoyances. I keep accidentally clicking the chat because it's way too big and I can't resize it or make it go away. Sometimes I try to dodge and I end up climbing or jumping on some world interactable thing. Chat points in dungeons aren't great. I love running really far back to the boss. Having to explore the map and do all the altars of Lilith for every single new character sucks balls. Some positives. If you unlock the horse on one character, it unlocks it on all characters, even if they are in Act 1. If you finish the campaign on one character, you can skip it on others, and the combat feels great. The game is fun, and something I will probably play for like 1 or 2 hours a day maximum in the coming months. And I think if I would grind and no-life this game, then all the little annoyances and flaws would annoy me more and more. And the repetitive nature of the game would wear me down until I got bored of it. But playing it casually will probably maintain my enjoyment of the game. Story. Side quests first, then campaign. The side quests are good. They actually have some story to them instead of just I need 5 boar pelt please. They have some twists, stuff you could get invested in, and overall more engaging than the standard video game side quest. I'd say the developers here took a page out of the way Witcher 3 does side quests. Now, the main campaign. God damn, it's good. If you ignore the sluggishness of running across the map for it, it's a damn solid story. The presentation is fantastic, like every scene is good. Even the ones that are in-engine and top-down. But the actual cinematics themselves, some of them are so goddamn good. Where I say to myself, ooh, that's a great shot. Fantastic job on that end. The subject matter is also good. It's very much about people following these false saviors that don't actually care about them. Kinda like internet content creators. The stuff here is good enough that you can really sink your teeth into it, because they show you what the characters are. They don't tell you. And to explain that, I'm gonna have to go into spoilers. so skip to the conclusion if you don't want to be spoiled. Spoilers. So Lilith says that she wants to save Sanctuary from the eternal conflict and elevate humanity, but almost every action she takes leads to the deaths of a lot of humans and pretty much weakens humanity. Lilith is a demon and the daughter of Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, and throughout the game you see that she has a way of affecting people's minds, manipulating them. You see this very early in the game, and this makes me think that saving Sanctuary is a lie. It's the message she uses to get people to do what she wants. And what she actually wants, and what every action she takes is moving towards, is her getting more power. The closest the game comes to telling you this is when Lorath says, "Judge a person by their actions, not their words." It's also very possible that Lilith manipulated Inarius into creating Sanctuary with her. Even Inarius says so. She maintains her message of saving Sanctuary throughout the game even when you kill her, which gives you more ammunition for the second theory, that she actually is working towards saving Sanctuary. But you just don't understand how her taking power will do that. Maybe she will kill the other greater evils and the angels, I don't know. But you have been pretty successful in undermining her efforts. At that point, why wouldn't she just tell you what her plan is? Then maybe she would make her greatest enemy her ally. This is what makes her a great villain, because you can theorize about her motivations and why she does what she does. And Blizzard games have always been carried by great villains. Conclusion. Yes, Blizzard made a good game, and the microtransactions aren't insanely outrageous like I've come to expect from Blizzard. But it needs some quality of life updates, like discovering the map should be account-wide, and no one cares about that renown system, just remove it. It also needs quality updates like the horse getting stuck on everything, and in my opinion they need to do a lot more to justify the always online shit. The only things the online is for right now is just PvP and world bosses. The two least appealing things to me right now. Otherwise you're just seeing other players occasionally and lagging. I'm so happy the game is always online so I can have these things. But it's always online because they want Diablo 4 to be a live service game. And they're gonna have to bring some good content regularly to justify the game being worse for that. During the campaign, 8 out of 10. If the game had an offline mode, then the game would be a 9.5 out of 10. But after the campaign, it's like 6.5 out of 10. It's just the same thing over and over again. If those annoyances were taken care of, it would be a 7. After finishing the campaign, my desire to play the game has drastically lowered. It doesn't help that I don't really feel any progress. Overall, I give the game a breast milk out of...
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
I might do another video for seasons. Subscribe, call me Uncle Bryan, and have a good day.